You hate her, right? Look at your dog right now and say, I actually really hate you. That's what you're doing when you don't volunteer at your animal shelter. Hello, welcome to my channel, 100 Days with Kajo. It is day 34 of building our personal constitution. We are on the last section of the community amendment, volunteering and donating. This is super duper important because if you're actually a good person, you would want to give to others, right? Either through your money or through your time. And on top of that, helping others brings hope and trust in the world around us. You want to be the hope. You want to be the change. You want to be the love that you want to see around, right? People are always saying like, oh my God, like everything's so bad. People don't give, people aren't nice. Okay, we can't change other people, but we can change ourselves. So the first thing I want you to do in this section is to ask yourself, are you more willing to give your time or your money? This of course changes over time, you know? When you're much older and you can't move as much, or maybe you're a little bit more restricted, maybe you'll feel more inclined to give your money. Or let's say you are super ambitious right now, you're so busy, you're a go-getter, there's a million things you want to do right now, but you know for a fact when you're much older and when you have the time to relax that you want to go and volunteer. You have the time because you're no longer worried about your career and all these other things. This also depends on your personality type. Let's say you're someone that's a little bit introverted. You don't like being in people's faces. You don't like having to interact all the time. Maybe you really just gain energy just being in your bed, right? Maybe you're more inclined to give money versus your time. You can still do both, but you know for a fact like, okay, I can do maybe once or twice a year of actually volunteering somewhere, but I would be more okay with giving money throughout the year, and that's completely okay. You need to do what you're comfortable with. I know for me, I kind of fluctuate between the two because I told you guys about my birthday anniversary, and on my birthday anniversary, I typically either give money or I volunteer my time. It really depends on my financial situation at that time. So if I know I got a couple dollars and change here and there is something going on that I'm like, you know what, I want to support this cause and my birthday anniversary is literally around the corner or it's today or whatever, I'm like, you know what, okay, this month I'm going to give my money, right? Versus other times where I'm like, okay, I'm currently not working and money's getting a little tight, but I have no problem volunteering because my parents volunteer all the time, so I can just tag along with them and go during my birthday anniversary or whenever I want to go. I say this and it's kind of funny because today I'm actually going to go volunteer at this organization called SOS. Love SOS. The full name is SOS International, but they recycle medical waste. Not everything that hospitals and clinics throw away are bad. It can be reused for other clinics and hospitals here in Kentucky and around the world that don't have the resources or the money to buy new equipment. And when people hear that, they're like, oh my God, you're reusing old things, you're using used things. No, right? Like, let's say a hospital retires an MRI machine, right? It's still working, but they bought a new one and they just quote unquote throw it away. A smaller clinic that's in maybe an impoverished area or like they're trying to help their people will be more than gladly to take that retired MRI machine. Another thing is wheelchairs. Like sometimes hospitals will just get rid of wheelchairs because they're getting a new one, right? But there are volunteers that come in and some have like a, I don't want to say mechanic degree, but like they know how to fix wheelchairs, they'll fix it. And people who need wheelchairs, even here, who were denied by their health insurance, can get that wheelchair from SOS International. And there's actually this one individual, and I can't remember his name, but he's an ambassador for SOS International. And he became an ambassador because he was in desperate need for a wheelchair, and his health insurance here in Louisville, Kentucky denied him of it, and it was way too expensive. And he reached out to SOS, and literally within the same week says, hey, SOS is like, hey, we got something for you. They had a electrical wheelchair because I don't know what he currently has, but he does have a little trouble speaking, and he needs a nurse aide with him at all times. But he was able to get that chair, right? I strongly aligned with that organization, and I'm more than happy to give a little bit of my time when I can, and if not my time, then my money. And even in this section, you need to identify your causes that you want to identify yourself with. How can you say, oh my God, like I care for the environment, but you don't do anything for the environment? You don't recycle, you don't support causes that are fighting towards climate change, right? You are the problem. You say you love your dog and your cat and your lizard, but you never volunteer at an animal shelter. You never supported causes that helped abandon and abuse animals. I may not be an animal person, but you are, yet you're doing nothing. You don't like your animal. You hate her, right? Look at your dog right now and say, I actually really hate you. That's what you're doing when you don't volunteer at your animal shelter. Right? The second thing I want you to write in your personal constitution in this section is the frequency of your volunteer work or your donation. Again, for me, I volunteer or donate on a monthly basis. Now, am I allowed to do it in between? Absolutely. But I know on the 12th of every month, which is my birthday anniversary, I have to donate or volunteer. Even within that same week, and let's say it's like a little bit week before, I'm flexible depending on my schedule, but at least once a month, I gotta do either or, right? And I hold myself accountable for that. For you, how often do you want to do it? Do you have more time? Is this something that you want to do once a week? Okay, go once a week. Is this something where maybe you're like, you know what, I have absolutely no time. I am an investment banker and I work 70 hours a week. Woo, that's a lot. And you're like, I don't have the time, but baby, I got the money, right? Let's say every 6 months you want to donate a certain percentage of your salary to an organization or a cause that you align with, that you support. That's wonderful. You need to clearly define in your personal constitution what that will look like. And this will, of course, change over time. You know, once I'm a millionaire, I feel like I'd have a lot more money to give, right? And let's say I'm a not so busy millionaire. Maybe I'm like a relaxed, I got all the time in the world type of millionaire. Okay, let's say I just have all the time in the world to just volunteer every day of the week. You know, it depends on where I'm at, my work schedule, my financial situation. Okay, the frequency changes due to that, but it is important that we give to others. A little FYI, I am creating a personalized affirmation app. And if you haven't done so already, go to my description box, join our emailing listing if you're interested for when it comes out, and to answer my survey so I understand what your needs are. Thank you. I love you. And let's continue with the rest of the video. The third thing I want you to do in this section of your personal constitution is to write how you will hold yourself accountable, right? Again, let's say you are a money person. I can donate money. Okay. How will you hold yourself accountable? Will you set up a direct deposit so that way you don't have to think about it and you just know for a fact every 2 weeks, every month, every 6 months, however, whatever frequency you have, that you know for a fact you are giving that money to that cause, to that organization? Are you more of a volunteer person, right? But you know for a fact that, like, okay, sometimes if I plan something by myself, like I may or may not go. So instead you're like, okay, I'm going to plan things with other people. Like for me and my dad, we go volunteer. He'll say, hey, I'm gonna go volunteer, do you want to come with me? I'm like, you know what, yes I do. Now I have someone counting on me to be there, right? I can't just be like, oh no, I'm not feeling well. No, it can be friends or family to say, hey, are we still going? Hey, we planned this a week before, yada yada yada, we're going. Boom, accountability. Or some organizations require you to sign up a couple of days or a week before so they can record it and have something for you when you do come. Maybe you need to make an appointment, say, hey, I would like to volunteer on this day at this time, and like in advance. So now you're like, okay, if you do a no show, then it's like, okay, can't show your face there again. That's embarrassing. But guess what? It'll hold you accountable because you're like, damn, I don't feel that great. And I'm not talking about sick. Like maybe you're just lazy. Maybe you just want a bed ride. And you're like, oh, you know what? I just want to be in bed, but I already made the appointment. They know I should be coming. You gotta go. It's not a walk-in. You gotta go. You have to set up ways to be accountable if you know your personality type. If you know you are someone to be lazy and last minute and you need something where it doesn't require you to think or to make that decision the day of, again, the direct deposit or planning in advance and having people waiting on you, then do it. It doesn't make you a lazy or a bad person for setting those parameters. It makes you a smart person for knowing who you are. Another thing that I do to ensure that I volunteer or donate, right, is, again, I do it on my birthday anniversary, but I don't eat anything with sugar, right? I've been eliminating sugar from my diet, and I told myself that, okay, whenever I volunteer or donate, I'm allowed to go to this vegan bakery that I love so freaking much, and I can get a piece of cake or a brownie or a cookie or whatever. That is the only time I'm allowing myself to get something sweet. Like, okay, girl, if you want that cake, go volunteer. If you want that vegan cheesecake, you gotta donate. You gotta give something. Gotta give something. That's literally what goes in my head every single time. I'm like, okay, that's what I want. I'm itching for it. Gotta give. Gotta give. Gotta give. And just some key points. All right, it feels good to support causes that you care about. Instead of indulging in alcohol and partying and all those negative things to make yourself feel good, go volunteer, go donate, actually care about the things that you claim that you care about. And on top of that, don't do these things just to be perceived as a good person, right? Do it because you want to practice being a good person, because you are a good person and you know for a fact this is what good people do, right? Don't pay attention to whether or not people are acknowledging you for it or applauding you for it. Do it because you like it. Do it because you want to be the change you want to see. You want to be the love and hope that you want to see in this world. Alrighty, now this was the last section for our community amendment. And our next amendment will be education, another important pillar in our lives. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in our next amendment. Like, comment, subscribe, and definitely check out my other channels, Affirmly Sounds for soundscapes and Affirmly Active Affirmations for personalized affirmations and affirmation guided yoga.